The land of Wano was already a living hell, but imagine if it wasn't ruled by pirates. What if instead of Kaido and Big Mom, the ones waiting on top were two of the most dangerous marines alive, Akainu and Aokiji? Today in this video, we will be diving into whether Luffy, Law, Kid, Zoro, and Killer could beat Akainu and Aokiji. So this is going to be a very interesting matchup since both Akainu and Aokiji can terraform the entire island and work together a lot better than Kaido and Big Mom. Akainu has a Magu Magunomi which gives him the ability to create, control, and transform into magma. It is a Logia top same like Aokiji, meaning he cannot be hit without Haki based attacks. His Devil Fruit also has the highest attacking power out of all the Devil Fruits, and it gives him very good durability as he was able to tank one of Whitebeard's attack head on. Whitebeard did knock him down, but Akainu took half his face and punched a hole through him, which is a lot more damage compared to Whitebeard. Later on, between the time skip, he goes on to beat Kuzan and gets way stronger with a bounty of around 5 billion berries, even rivaling the Pirate King himself. Not to mention that they terraformed the entirety of Punk Hazard and they were the strongest in the Marines. The fact that he has an insanely high bounty given to him by Cross Guild indicates that Oda plans to make him a lot stronger. As for Admiral Aokiji or Kuzan, Aokiji ate the Hiei Nomi, which gives him the ability to create, control, and transform into ice. Pre-time skip, he was able to freeze an entire continent, which is one of the most impressive feats in the entire One Piece verse. Aokiji's next biggest feat was going on par with old Garp, who was relative to Roger in his prime. Despite being slightly weaker than Garp in my opinion, Aokiji was still relative and Garp wasn't in terrible shape in any form. He almost one-shotted the entire island. So this can make it clear that both Akainu and Aokiji are towards high Admiral level. For the first matchup, I'm going to be putting Luffy and Zoro against Akainu, and then Law and Kid against Aokiji, and at last we're going to decide who wins in an all-out brawl. So let's start off by the first fight between Law and Kid against Aokiji. This one would be a terrible matchup for both Law and Kid since Kuzan can freeze Kid very easily and his machines. We also did see Kuzan or Aokiji one-shot Cracker, which took Gear 4 Luffy a lot of time to beat. And on top of that, we know that Kid is not a lot stronger than Gear 4 Luffy, as Gear 4 Luffy was able to beat Doflamingo. I definitely agree that Eustace Kid is a lot stronger than Doflamingo or Cracker, but he can't do anything against Aokiji. Eustace Kid got one-shotted by Shanks, who's an Emperor, and Shanks shouldn't be a lot stronger than Aokiji. As for Law, Law is going to be a lot harder than Kid to beat since he has a Opi Nomi which has insane abilities. One of his main abilities is teleportation. Law has the ability to swap places with any object that falls in the range of his room, including ice, which could be very beneficial. Trafalgar Law can certainly not move Kuzan around since he has better Haki as he clash with Garp. Well, it's been stated multiple times that Law cannot move people with better Haki, so the advantage Law has is that he can switch places with blocks of ice and even hold up for a few minutes against Aokiji, and the advantage Aokiji has over Law is that he can transform the entire terrain to his advantage, not to mention that he can use observation Haki to prevent surprise attacks from Law. Kuzan or Aokiji is also a lot faster and physically stronger since he fought Garp, who is one of the strongest in the entire verse. Both Law and Kid definitely did beat Big Mom, but Kuzan's smart and he's not going to be easy to hit like Big Mom since he's a lot smaller. On top of that, Kuzan can easily disappear and turn into ice since he's a Logia user. He also has a way better battle IQ and stamina since he fought Akainu for 10 days straight. Also, Trafalgar Law landing Shock Willy is going to be extremely hard because of observation Haki. Aokiji is also on par with Kizaru, if not stronger, and Kizaru was able to go toe-to-toe with Gear 5 Luffy and they were relative. He created an entire continent and he's winning this mid-diff. As for the next matchup, we got the man, the myth, the legend himself, Fleet Admiral Akainu. First things first, we gotta get Gear 4 Luffy out of this since Akainu is gonna one-shot Gear 4 Luffy like Kizaru. As for Gear 5 Luffy, Luffy is certainly faster or physically stronger than Akainu, but Akainu has a way better destructive capability and is able to slip from the Bajran gun a lot easier than Kaido. Fleet Admiral Akainu is not the one who stands still when a punch bigger than Onigashima itself is coming at him. Luffy certainly does have better Haki compared to Akainu since he has Conquerors, which is able to clash up with Kaido, the strongest creature. But the crazy thing about this fight is that all Akainu needs to do is land one clean hit on Luffy and turn him into a donut like his brother Ace. We also know that there's nobody better than Akainu at this job since he even turned Whitebeard into a donut who had crazy durability. Also, one thing a lot of people forget that all Kaido wanted was a challenge and he did not care about finishing Luffy, but Akainu is not the same as Kaido. As soon as Luffy gets knocked down, Akainu is just going to punch a hole through him. As for Zoro, Zoro does have all three types of Haki including Ornament, Observation, and Conquerors. I do think he might be able to land a scar on Akainu if he teams up with Luffy, but he's just going to end up getting vaporized as soon as he gets very close. Also, pretty much the entire island is just going to be magma, so Akainu can get away easily. Akainu can also use a magma rain to damage Luffy, especially if Luffy is very fast. There really isn't anything both Zoro and Luffy can do to Akainu, so yeah, this fight I got Akainu winning mid to high diff, since Luffy is certainly capable of keeping up or damaging Akainu to some extent. Now let's move on to the final battle, which is going to be an all-out brawl. This fight is certainly going to be a lot better for the Supernovas as Law can teleport them. I'm still going to give it to the Navy Admiral since they can do crazy stuff like create barriers with magma and ice which cannot be broken easily. Both of them also know about each other's abilities and they're used to working as a team. Also, everyone on Luffy's side is Yonko commander level except Luffy. Even the weakest Admiral Green Bull was able to handle 2 Yonko commanders by himself. I totally get that they were sick, but Green Bull never took him serious and he was embarrassed to lose to mere Yonko commanders. So yeah, if Akainu and Aokiji replaced Big Mom and Kaido, they would have won.